So picture you're out grabbing your morning coffee and across the street, you spot somebody amazing. Just your type, maybe she's a brunette, maybe a redhead, I don't know what you're into, but your mind races, you want to talk to her, but you do nothing. The moment passes and you walk away feeling that regret. There's a way to meet women and get dates like this that's kind of like a superpower that most men will never possess. And in today's episode, you're going to learn how to get past your anxiety, which stops you from doing this. Then I'm going to show you the most common ways that guys screw this up, which is going to sabotage all your efforts. And then I'm going to give you a super simple script that you can memorize. It's going to feel totally authentic and allow you to meet women with ease. Lastly, I'm going to tell you what sort of results you can expect to get from mastering the skill, how it kind of compares and stacks up against the other methods and avenues to meet women like dating apps, bars and clubs, singles events, matchmakers, or through your social circle. You're listening to the Inner Confidence Podcast. My name is Robbie Kramer. I've been a coach since 2007, and I've helped countless men rapidly achieve all of their social and dating goals. My mission is simple: to help you position yourself to meet stunning women and make awesome friends en route to becoming the most confident and attractive version you can possibly be. I'm absolutely obsessed with giving you the most leveraged ways possible to win the game, so stick around, let's go. So I remember the first really cute girl I ever successfully dated from Daygame. I was living in New York City, walking through Bryant Park, and I was with my dog Wiley, and I spotted this petite brunette. She was reading a book, sitting alone, like at a coffee table, and I felt this pull to do it. I probably walked by her 2 or 3 times, and I almost chickened out, but I had the voice of my wingman in the back of my head, and he was basically calling me a huge pussy. This guy approached women all the time, which made me feel like I should probably be doing it too. So I walked over, and the opening line I remember using was like, "Hey, so this is random, but I saw you sitting here, and I would have been kicking myself all day if I didn't come over to meet you." So having a dog was a super hack because she turned out to be a dog lover. She immediately started asking me questions about Wiley. She started like petting him and playing with him. We chatted for maybe a minute or two. I think she was mentioning that she was a dentist or trained to be a dentist. She was from Greece, living in NYC for the summer. I told her I just moved there. And I really started to feel myself getting nervous and running out of things to say. So I remember getting her number and leaving before that happened. I texted her a couple days later. I set up a date and we met for a coffee, and I brought Wiley again to that date. And this time I felt way more at ease because I already knew she was interested. Otherwise she wouldn't be on the date. Then the following week, one of my friends was hosting a dinner party, that same wingman I mentioned, and he was there with his girl. And there was another buddy with his girl. So I brought this girl, which was, us and 2 other couples. And we had a great time. And we ended up dating until she left for Greece that summer. It was like an amazing summer fling, right? Prior to this, I was wasting tons of time swiping on the dating apps. And after this experience, I kind of got off the apps completely. And my dating life really took off because I really had this power to replicate this success. So in this episode, I'm going to show you the exact steps to pull this off with consistency with girls that are way more attractive than you'll be able to get online. So first, let's talk about why you're not already doing this. And the answer is because of fear. Approach anxiety is a very real thing. I've worked with hundreds of clients over the years on this, and virtually none of them were able to consistently approach women sober in broad daylight before paying for training. Some of those guys went to other coaches or trainers before me. Sometimes I was the first, and I was the same way. I couldn't do it either. I even took a boot camp that taught me to do it, and then I still couldn't do it. And then I took another boot camp, and I still couldn't do it. It wasn't until I actually became like an approaching coach for this company where I was, basically my job was to help other guys to approach. Then I had to demonstrate, and then that's when I actually consistently started doing it. The problem was those boot camps are spread out over like months in between. There wasn't any sort of accountability or like ways to make it stick in between. So I could do it in that environment, but then I would just go back home, without that support system, and I wouldn't be able to do it. Really what gives guys anxiety is twofold. It's not really socially acceptable to approach women randomly, so we're conditioned that this is a major risk, similar to public speaking, and it could lead from our banishment from the tribe, right? It's like a primal fear, and it's deep-rooted into our psyche. But it can be overcome quite easily. And the second part of the fear is that it's kind of coming from not having any sort of plan and feeling like even if you did go up and do it, you'd stumble over your words. You might not even know what to say at all. You'd make a fool of yourself. So I'm going to give you that exact plan in a moment here. But think of Daygame as a muscle, and you've got to warm yourself up or you're risking injury. And in this case, it's your ego. And if you don't warm up, you're going to get such brutal rejections that you won't ever do it again. Real quick, New Brew. If you haven't tried this stuff, it is amazing. It's alcohol-free. It's made from Kreda and kava root. My buddy Justin and his wife Simona, who came on the podcast a few times, started this company. I'm trying to not really drink alcohol anymore. I only need one of these to feel like the effects. Maria, my wife, drinks these every time she goes golfing, and it just chills her out, makes her feel amazing. So if you're trying to stay off the booze and you still want to feel good, give New Brew a shot. The link is in the description there. So I have a series of warm-up exercises that will get you in a social mood, that will allow you to really overcome approach anxiety. And they're very simple. Like, none of this stuff is rocket science, but you have to do it. So the first is to simply say hi to the next 5 to 10 people who walk by, right? Just hey, how's it going? You know, a little head nod, or you can do, hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is. And that's going to take you maybe 5-10 minutes, right? And the point is to kind of do it rapid fire, like everyone you see. And I literally just coached someone through this exact issue just a couple days ago. So this is our Discord community. There's a whole system in place to help you level up, from our belt system to our weekly Zoom calls. Plus, members get exclusive access to things like the organized girl advice threads, where you'll be guided with specific real-time advice for your specific girls, and the ability to post recordings of your approaches and other interactions, screenshots to get direct feedback on things like texting, fashion advice, you name it. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And the best part, it's a place where you get real-time feedback, accountability, and tons of support from other members all around the globe. If you've been in a community before, I guarantee it's nothing like this one. I only accept successful and motivated guys who want to reach the highest levels of personal development and game. So if you're a total noob or a tire kicker, this is probably not going to be a good fit for you. You'll discover all the other benefits when you join. So if you're looking to take your game to the next level, this could be the place for you. The second exercise is you're going to walk up to somebody in front of a landmark, like a store or a Starbucks, for example, and ask them where the nearest Starbucks is, right? So like, hey, do you know where Starbucks is? And they're going to be like, right here. You're like, yeah, I know, I'm just kidding around. Have a good day. Or if they're standing on Santa Monica Boulevard, you can be like, hey, can you help me out? I'm looking for directions to Santa Monica Boulevard. They'll be like, you're on Santa Monica Boulevard. So this is going to get you in a funny, like, social mood. And it's very important that you actually do these first, because they're going to put you in a flow state. They're going to make you enjoy approaching. So do not skip these. You can't logically get into the flow state without putting yourself there by doing these warm-ups, right? It's like if you just immediately go to the gym and you start doing like the heaviest weightlifting thing you're going to do, right? You start doing deadlifts with your max weight, you're going to fucking, injure yourself badly. And it's not going to happen physically with Daygame, it's going to happen mentally, which is arguably worse. So that's how to combat approach anxiety. Don't start with the hard thing, warm up. And if you tried these sorts of things and you still haven't been able to approach, you're likely dealing with some other deep-seated issues. And I'd recommend working with an expert, because you're not likely to make progress on your own. And don't beat yourself up about that either. I was one of those guys. So next, I want to show you the most common ways guys screw their approaches up. And if you master clean body language, a clear voice, friendly eye contact, you're going to dodge pretty much every trap on this list. So first, let's go over the easiest scenario, which is she's sitting alone, drinking a coffee, and you don't really have to worry about anyone overhearing the conversation. So here's common mistake number one. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? My name's Robbie. I think you're really pretty.
I'm sorry, I need to go.
Where are you going? I just wanted to say hi. So what I was doing here, I was invading her personal space, showing very poor social skills. Here's common mistake number two. Hey, how's it going? I'm Robbie. Wanted to come meet you. What's your name?
I'm sorry, I'm waiting for my friend. She's gonna come in like 5 minutes.
Oh, but I just wanted to... I have 5 minutes, right? Anyways, where are you from? What do you do?
I'm sorry, I just wait for my friend. Is that okay?
Can we just talk in the meantime?
No.
Well, no?
No, I'm waiting for my
Can
friend.
I have your number?
No.
Okay. You sure? I'm rich. So there I was talking too fast. I was being pushy, assuming that I could just sit down and the obvious awkward flexing of wealth. Here's common mistake number 3.
Hi. I just had to tell you that you are the most beautiful girl I've seen all day. My name's Robbie.
I'm sorry, I'm
wanted
waiting
to
for
meet-
my boyfriend.
Oh,
Can you please leave?
okay. You sure you have a boyfriend?
Yes, he's gonna come here in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Here I was being way too interested, overly serious and formal. I was complimenting her beauty, which is a very simpy sort of behavior. And obviously it was the way I did it as well. So I'm going to show you the proper approach in a second, but first let's discuss the most common scenario you'll encounter, which is a woman who's walking on her way somewhere. And usually, women are not just going to be like slowly meandering through a park. They're going to be walking pretty quickly with intention. And stopping them is a lot more difficult than you would think. Guys screw this up badly. So, common mistake number 1.
Excuse me? Okay.
Here I was awkwardly tapping her on the shoulder from behind. Common mistake number 2.
Hey, excuse me. Excuse me.
Here I was shouting at her to stop. Common mistake number 3.
Excuse me. One second. I just want to talk to you.
Here I was blocking her path like a bouncer. Common mistake number 4.
Excuse me. 1 second.
Here I was being way too passive. I was speaking in a very meek, soft voice. Common mistake number 5.
Hey, how you doing? What's going on? What are you up to today? Can you just stop and talk for like 1 second?
Here I was walking alongside her, and she'll really have no idea how long I'm going to continue doing that, and that will not put her at ease. It'll make her want to run away. Common mistake number 6.
Excuse me.
Oh my god.
Well, 1 sec. I just wanted to come meet you.
This one should be obvious. I'm grabbing at her arm, and that's not going to make anyone feel comfortable. Common mistake number 7.
Hey, sorry, 1 sec. I just wanted to tell you that I think you're really cute.
Here I'm talking to her from too far away, and I'm making it really easy for her to ignore you. Remember, you only get one chance to make a great first impression. So first I'm going to show you how to stop a girl using the hook and swoop technique.
So I'm going to demonstrate how to properly stop a girl who's walking using the hook and swoop technique. All right, so if she's walking towards me, I'm not just going to be like, stop, because that's intrusive and weird. So instead I'm going to let her, as she's walking past me, I'm going to try to make eye contact. If I got it, that's a really good sign. Make sure the booty is nice.
Oh my god.
And then I'm going to chase after her. So walk super slow motion, so I can do it in slow motion. Slower, that's not super slow motion. Super slow motion. Exactly. So I'm going to run around while I point backwards. Hey, 1 sec. Me pointing makes her think that she dropped her wallet or something. And then once I have the eye contact, I'm going to deliver my opening line. So here it is in full speed. Hey, 1 sec. I saw you, and I had to risk embarrassing the hell out of myself to meet you.
Okay, that's something new.
Robbie,
Maria.
you look like you're busy. I'm late for a meeting. How about this? Give me your number. If you don't like me, give me a fake one.
Okay. Never heard that before.
First time for everything,
Some
right?
new line.
You get a lot of weird lines.
Yeah, this one is good one.
Was original?
Yeah.
All right. I'll text you. Nice to meet you.
Okay, nice
See you later.
Bye.
Now I'm going to teach you the easiest and most authentic script to use. So these are technically lines that you can memorize, but they're never going to feel like cheesy pickup lines because they're effectively just calling out what you're doing, which shows a combination of social awareness and humor. So once you got her attention, you're going to tell her why you're talking to her, while also acknowledging the fact that what you're doing goes against standard social protocol. And this really answers the two most important questions any woman will have in her mind, which are, 1, am I in danger? And 2, what does he want from me? And if you've delivered the lines correctly, you'll probably get like a chuckle, a smile. And next, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to give a time constraint. This answers her next question, which is how long is this guy going to try and take up my time? And if she likes you instantly because you're her type, she may not mind, right? She may be very eager to talk to you. But if she's not yet sure, which is 99.9% of the women you're going to meet, she will appreciate this and she's going to feel at ease because you told her you can only stay for a second. Then you're going to tell her in a hurry. So then you're going to basically use a funny line to get her number. And this will make the close, which is potentially the most awkward part, easy and fun. When you walk away, she's probably going to feel like, oh my God, what just happened? That guy was so cool and smooth and mysterious. And I wanted to talk to him more. So she's going to be eagerly awaiting your text at that point. So here's how I would do it if she's sitting at a coffee shop.
Hey, one sec. Not to be that guy that like tries to flirt with you while you're sitting here drinking coffee, but I gotta be that guy. Give me like 30 seconds to give you my sales pitch.
Okay.
What's your name?
Maria.
Maria, I'm Robbie.
Nice to meet you.
Me too. What are you up to today?
Seeing my friend. She's late as always.
Oh, nice. Well, bad friend. You gonna yell at her?
Of course.
Well, I don't want to keep you. I've got to run to a meeting. But how about this? Give me your number. If you don't like me, give me a fake one.
Okay.
There you go.
Here you go.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Maria.
You remember my name, right?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, one sec. I saw you, and I had to risk embarrassing the hell out of myself to come meet you.
Oh, okay.
I'm Robbie.
Maria.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You look like you're in a rush. You off to work out or something?
No, I'm actually after my yoga class.
Oh, nice. Well, I don't want to keep you. I've got to run to a meeting, actually, but love to, talk more. How about this? Give me your number. If you don't like me, give me a fake one.
Okay, I hope you're not going to call me right away to see if it's fake or not.
Well, better not be fake. No, I won't call you. Calling's weird. I'll text you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my number.
All right. Thanks for the fake number.
Okay.
See you later.
So after seeing those two demos, you might feel like those interactions were too short and there wasn't enough time to build a connection. There are a lot of Daygame systems taught by other coaches out there, which are elaborate, and they go into skills like bantering, qualifying, push-pull, cold reading, etc. And all that stuff is great and totally valid, all good things to learn, but trying to incorporate all of it into an approach, if you're new to this, is going to completely overwhelm you. I've been coaching Daygame since 2006. It's been almost 20 years. So trust me when I say that the worst thing you can do is try to bite off more than you can chew with this stuff. So if you want to practice conversation skills, the best place to do that is on a date. That is literally what they're for. You're just asking a lot from both yourself and a woman you literally just met to try and have some sort of really enjoyable conversation out of nowhere on a sidewalk. Now, I'm not saying if you're an advanced conversationalist, you shouldn't, try to continue the conversation. I mean, you should get to the point where you're going to feel yourself kind of like running out of shit to say or getting nervous, and you can always, just eject, use that fake number line at that point. I'm just saying if you haven't done Daygame a lot, you're going to be way more effective at getting numbers and getting over approach anxiety and getting good at this if you do those short style elevator pitch approaches that I just demonstrated, both the sitting one and the standing one. You're busy, she's busy, you have a perfectly valid reason why you can't stay and chat. But there is plenty of a dynamic there that she's going to be comfortable going on a date with you from this shorter interaction alone. Plus a few witty texts back and forth. Keep in mind, a 45-second interaction like this is going to tell her exponentially more about you than an online dating message exchange and texting, right? Like when you meet someone in person, you get to feel their vibe and their energy. That's so much more powerful and likely to result in a date than an online encounter. So in essence, don't knock this until you try it. I was way more successful with these short approaches than even the longer ones, even though I'm a really good conversationalist. So if a girl's really keen on continuing the conversation, rather than just chatting on the sidewalk, I will effectively pitch her on an instant date. So here's an example of that I got back in the day. Hey, I was waiting for a friend over there.
Yeah.
And I saw you walk by and I thought, I gotta embarrass the hell out of myself to come flirt with this girl.
Hi.
I'm Robbie.
Tanya.
Nice to meet you,
You're
Tanya.
not trying to sell me like hair stuff, are
I
you?
swear to God, I have no hair stuff to sell you.
A lot of people
I don't even
try
have a lot of hair.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, what are you up to?
I'm actually on my way back to work.
Yeah?
Yeah, I work around here. What about you?
I was just going to meet a friend and he's late, so.
Okay.
Saw Tanya walk by, I'm like.
Yeah, and you just kind of. All right, so make your case then.
All right, you ready for the sales pitch?
Absolutely.
Well, it's a little cold out here.
It is.
And we're standing in front of a parking lot.
I
And
know.
I feel like I'm about to get run over.
Really a good space.
So, two options. Either we talk over there by the weird ass wall.
Yeah, that
Sounds good? All right, this is our first date. I've never been on a date in front of this wall before, but I'm excited.
I bet you haven't been on like a 15-minute date either, so.
I don't think I have. I didn't think I'd even get 15 minutes.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Maybe
I'll
we'll
gauge at 10 or maybe
I might
5.
get cold after 6, so
That's fine.
if I run.
Fine.
These are cool
I have
little
to get
glove
back
things.
To work.
Yeah. What do you do?
So we ended up having, probably a 5-minute conversation there, and then went on a date the next day at the Starbucks right around the corner. So that's an example of how you can effectively, go from talking on the sidewalk to, hey, let's just, rather than talking here, let's grab a quick coffee, right? And if she's giving you a lot of interest and really stopping and planting and seems like she's down to hang out right then and there, then an instant date can be a great thing to do. But again, get comfortable getting over anxiety first before you try something like that. Now, one other example I want to show is from another creator. His name is Denmo, who has a great technique for approaching by calling out what she's wearing. So here is that video.
Denim jacket? I don't know you.
What?
I just called you Denim Jacket.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Yeah, I don't know your name.
Solid. Jackie.
Your name's, I thought it was Solid. I'm Jack. Yeah,
Hey!
we're close. What? Pink pants.
Sorry?
Pink pants.
These are purple.
Hey, listen, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Do you know me?
No.
Do you want to?
Sure. What's your name?
Purple hair. I don't know you,
No, you don't.
but I want to. What's your name?
Maddie, what's yours?
So there you have it. He's got a great vibe about him. He's very playful. He's very chill, very low key, but also confident and sure of himself. So that's the vibe that you're going for, right? What matters more than anything is your vibe. And the only way to get a good vibe is to practice and get in the reps. So one more thing I want to show, because so many of you guys are dealing with women abroad. Maybe you're living abroad, maybe you're digital nomads, or maybe you're traveling. And that's how to approach if the odds are pretty good that she does not speak English. I'm going to show you what not to do and then what to do here. If you're traveling in a foreign country, this is the worst possible opening line you could use. Excuse me, do you speak English?
No.
Are you sure? Don't ask her if she speaks English, because she's just going to say no. So do this instead. Hey, one sec. I saw you, and I had to risk embarrassing myself to come over here and meet you.
Sorry, I don't speak English.
Oh, I love you. We get married, yes? No ring. I see no ring here. Okay, you put phone number. I text you. Name?
Maria?
Maria. Robbie. Bye-bye. All right, the last situation I want to go over is what I call the node opener. And this content is from the members area in the Inner Confidence community. And that's if you're in a situation where if you hit on her, there's going to be a bunch of other people within earshot, and it might be really potentially awkward for her. Like an example would be a subway or train car in line at the grocery store, or a really crowded coffee shop, or maybe if she's working, like, she's a service industry worker working and there's other coworkers around or other people around. So to save her from embarrassment, not that I'd be embarrassed to do it, it's more about saving her from embarrassment. I write a note on my phone and I hand it to her. And it's funny, it's creative, and it works a really high percentage of the time, believe it or not. The only downside is, sometimes you need a little bit of preparation, but that's why it's great to have some of these like pre-written out on your phone. And sometimes you have the time, sometimes you don't. So here's a couple examples. One, this is hello, you came into my register to help me with the return. And in my head, I said, hey, this girl's cute. I know you're busy here at work, so I didn't want to make it glaringly obvious that I'm hitting on you. You have a few options. A, I can leave and go die in a grease fire. My mother will be sad as it's Mother's Day. B, you can give me your phone number. C, if you don't like me, you can give me a fake one. What say you? And she responded here, I handed this to her. She said, only because this was adorable, put her number. My name's Izzy. Here's another one. This one was kind of like preloaded. And hi, I'm Robbie. I have a crush on you. Please choose an option below. Give me your number or a fake one. If you think I'm ugly or a loser for hitting on you in the gym, tell me you have a boyfriend. If you choose option 2, I will drown myself in the nearest pool. And then another one, I used this one on a Southwest flight back in 2015. And I had the time to write this out because she was like the funny flight attendant giving the announcements over the PA. So I waited until I walked off the plane and handed this to her as I passed right before exiting. So I said, dear funny flight attendant, this note will take you 16 seconds to read. I'm sure you get hit on 10,000 times a day by assholes while working, but I figured I'd take my chances and be number 10,001. I wrote the note instead of just telling you this because I didn't feel like embarrassing myself in front of everyone walking off this plane. Guessing you have to turn this plane around, so please choose one option below. A, give me your number. B, give me a fake number. C, instruct me to follow the jetway. She put her number there and her name Miriam. Here's another one I did when I was dating a bisexual girl named Genevieve. So I wrote this, dear blonde at the bar, not to be too aggressive, but my girlfriend and I are slightly obsessed with your butt. Pick an option. 1, write number here. 2, tell us you are dating the guy to your right. We won't believe you. 3, write in other rejection here. I'm dating his friend, but both of you are hot. That's what she wrote. So those are the note openers. To consistently get dates from this, remember, you need to put in the reps. Most guys need to do about 50 to 100 approaches to shake off the nervous energy and to get comfortable with rejection. So you're going to screw up the stop. You're going to have weak body language. You're going to speak too softly, or you're going to forget the lines. So give yourself permission to suck. And the best way to do this is with a wingman and to take turns approaching, the cute girls you see. After each approach, you're going to laugh with your wingman about how you crashed and burned, and that's going to turn a negative experience into a positive one. In my community, I pair guys up to go out and approach together whenever possible. If there's no one available or no other members in the city, what I'll do is I'll help facilitate wingman calls between members. So at least you can be on the phone with a buddy while you're out doing this on your own. Lastly, let's talk about what results you can expect from this. So I have personally done somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 Daygame approaches. And I also have the data on about 200 clients who have trained in my community with an approach tracking tool that I developed circa 2021. So I'm going to share that screen right here. So what this tool does, you pull it up on your phone and it geolocates you. So you can see where I'm recording this right now in LA because that's where it is. But obviously if you're on your phone, you're out, it knows where you are. And it creates a database here of all of your approaches and the location, the time, and the progress, right? So after you approached, you can say, I approached, I conversed with her, I got contact info, she responded to my text, she agreed to a first date, we went on a first date, we kissed, we had sex, and we're having recurring sex. And the status, either it's dead, she left you on red, you're icing her, maybe you're circling back, you're staying top of mind, or it's just alive. So what this does is ultimately it creates stats. Now, of course, I don't have many stats on here because I haven't done a whole lot of day games since I was, in a relationship since I developed this. But we could pull up someone else from the program and we can look at their stats together. So I have impersonation abilities here. So let's choose a user. Let's go with he's done a lot of fun approaches. Why don't we go with here are stats. You can see since he joined the program, he has done a lot of approaches. Gee golly. 529 approaches. Location, EDC, Sherman Oaks, The Grove, Farm Cup. And then what we have down here are the stats. And this is the interesting part. These numbers in black are what I consider par. And par, just like in golf, is a score that is very hard to get. Basically, if you're a professional, you should shoot around even par. So if you're getting par or around par, it means you are a very good day gamer. This is the one we want. So if you approach her, what this is measuring, did you converse with her? And par on that is 90%. 9 out of 10 girls you approach should stop and have a conversation. If that's not happening, you're not stopping her correctly, like I showed. So he's right at par here. Getting contact info. If you're really good at day game, you should get the contact info about half the time, right? And he's right around 40%. She should respond to that initial text half the time. So half the girls that you get their number, half should respond. He's a little bit below that, which means he's getting a little bit of pity numbers. If she responds to a text, she should agree to a date at least 60% of the time to show if your texting is good or not. You can see he's a little below par there, so pretty good texting. Then, did she go on the date if she agreed to the date? And certainly she did. So that's another measure of texting, and he's well above par there. Did he kiss her on the date? You should be kissing about 75% of the girls on the first date. If your game is good and he's doing better than that, so that's awesome. Do you ultimately get to sex if you take a girl out on a date? Well, I'm not saying on that date, but you should ultimately sleep with close to 100% of the girls you get on a date with. That's why the par is at 90, and he's below that, which means something's going on in terms of middle game for him, and he's losing some leads. But that's a very important dictator here. I'm going to talk to him about that. And then if you had sex once, do you have recurring sex? And that should be happening 8 out of 10 times. He's slightly below that. So overall, for this is an amazing way to track someone's progress in game, and it really allows me to see what the sticking points are. So let's talk about how many approaches the average guy needs to do before day game becomes a working dating funnel for him. For most guys, it takes about 500 approaches to become competent at this skill. You can see was pretty good, right around, he's a little bit over 500 approaches. So some guys get lucky and they start getting dates on their first handful of approaches. And in my community, I suggest guys do 25 approaches per week. This is kind of like the magic number that will get you good at this in under 6 months. If you already have solid social skills, you're a high status guy with good fashion, good physique, you could be crushing this like right off the bat, right? The big benefit of day game and approaching in real life is it's really a rite of passage, kind of like becoming a man, right? If you're afraid to make yourself vulnerable and you're ashamed of your attraction towards women, you're never going to date a woman who's in demand by other men. As simple as that. Right? High value women are massively turned off by fear. So think of day game as one of the foundational exercises of game, like deadlifts as a foundational exercise of weightlifting. It's the best thing you can do to see results and get strong if you have the right technique and form. I've seen countless physically attractive and rich dudes brutally fail with women because their seduction skills were poor, and the answer to solving that problem was day game. It's really what allowed them to shed their inauthentic nice guy acts, come out of their shell, and it's really the thing that turned them into beasts that they were capable of. So at the end of the day, approaching women shouldn't be an isolated thing you occasionally do when a wingman or a coach pushes you to do it. It should be a go-to instinct that when you see a beautiful girl, you just go do it, right? And if you can get into the state, you'll never have a shortage of beautiful women as dating options in your life. But the only way to get there is with deliberate practice, and you gotta put in the reps, and that's gonna require a concerted effort and accountability to get over the fear, to troubleshoot your sticking points, and to make it a habit and eventually a lifestyle. So that's why a lot of the guys join my program. They understand that they're going to be held accountable week in and week out to those goals. Sometimes if guys don't do what they say, I force them to put their money where their mouth is and make a bet. Then they do it or they lose the money. Unfortunately for me, they really almost never lose these bets. And that's because I make them bet an amount of money they're not willing to lose. And that's really the easiest way to get anyone to do anything, by the way, is to create a much worse outcome for not doing it. So, there you have it. It's kind of really all you need to know to master the skill of approaching a beautiful woman in real life, where very few guys have the balls to do it. So, of course, there's other scenarios as well. I'm not going to go over on this episode, like what if she's with friends, or she's on the phone, or she's driving, or she has a dog, or you have a dog, or whatever. If you just master these 3 simple scenarios, which are she's sitting by herself she's walking, and 3, she's sitting in a busy environment where approaching might make her feel totally uncomfortable. You master those 3 scenarios, you'll be off to the races. Just use the easy pitch I gave you, get the number, leave, then you can use your texting and dating skills, which are going to be a lot easier than the actual cold approach. So I have many other infield videos I've done back in the day that obviously aren't on my wife before I was married that I can show you. Just leave a comment with the scenario you need help with and I'll hook you up. All right, till next time, guys. Cheers. Out of all the guys I know, the only ones who managed to consistently win the game are those who built and invested in a high status social circle. You can certainly approach women and try your luck on the apps if you're a Chad, but those strategies simply don't work consistently to attract top tier women and awesome friends into your life. But for most guys, the idea of building a social circle can feel overwhelming, so they continue to hunt for women in their usual ways and end up settling for a girl they were never really that excited about in the first place. To avoid this fate, join our community and instantly plug into a highly vetted social circle of cool dudes to network and navigate your journey with. You already know it's hard to find wingmen because the good ones don't stay in the game very long. Many of our members travel together, end up living together, build amazing circles, and even businesses together, both in the West and in many of the best locations around the globe with gorgeous women and low cost of living. I'm extremely careful who I let into this community, but if you feel like you'd make a good fit, you can apply to join. The link's in the description.